Well, good morning, YouTube world. Good morning to you, Mike Green. Because as always, my message is to me, for me, and about me. Because I'm selfish and inconsiderate. Maybe not totally, but anyway. This is a little bit of a update on me to look back upon, and maybe in a year or two, and see where I'm at. But 9.5 months ago, I began my journey as a 10-pin bowler. I was on a little bit of a repair drive about, drove 5,000 miles. And while I was on that 5,000 mile journey, I went to visit with a family member. It was a cousin of mine who's a minister, and he is an avid golfer and bowler. And one night he had to go to a revival, and I'd been to church that day, and being the heathen that I am, I didn't go to the revival, but I went to the bowling alley. And something happened to me there at that bowling alley. I kind of just got enthused about it. Now, 50 some odd years ago, I did bowl. I mean, we're talking over 50 years ago. It's like 3 years ago. So anyway, I had a house ball, and I went in there, and I might have bowled 110 or something like that. And I started my journey. And over these last months, I've listened to countless YouTube instructors, watched, PBA playoffs, just, learned about two-handed bowling, which I didn't know anything about, and I still don't two-hand bowl, but I think it's absolutely fascinating. And began my quest, and I have my journey. And my goals were this: to be a 200 or better average bowler. I want to bowl 300, obviously. And ultimately, my goal is to have an 800 series. Now, those are very lofty goals. And so I've been working at it, and maybe a little tad obsessed with it, always seeking out the next fascinating bowling ball that's going to be the magic ball for me. There's probably a ball named Magic Ball, because Lord knows they've got names for everyone. But I have become a hammer, I guess, follower or whatever. I have several hammer bowling balls. Started off with the hammer, the Envy, and which unfortunately it's my hammer Envy's got a chip out of it, and I don't know if that'd make that big of a difference or not, but there is a chip out of it. So I may try to repair it with some epoxy, but I don't know. Second ball was a purple hammer, because everybody has to have a purple hammer. And recently I bought a pink Black Widow, and my next purchase is I really think that I want to get the Black Widow 3.0. But as of right now, last night I used my DV8 ball in place of my Envy, and the DV8 is comparable to the Envy. Well, I've been having some problems with my thumb. You can look at that gnarled up thumb there. And I went in and had some exchangeable I don't know what it'd be. It's the whole, the whole grip, for the thumb grip. And of course, when she exchanged it, when she made it bigger, because my thumb is all messed up, it really got a little bit too big, so I was having to put tape in it. But my thumb had, even though it is nasty looking now, had reduced in size, so my DV8 uh, felt pretty good, and I was able to use it. Well, anyway, long story short, we were working out of town, and so I found a local bowling alley, and they had one of those things where you can bowl 2 hours for like $28 or 20 something dollars. And so I went in there and I bowled for 2 hours and still had some energy left. And anyway, it was Saturday night, so I didn't have anything else to do, and guys were working and everything was going along all right. So I went in and stayed another. So I bowled for 4 hours and I bowled 16 games, and that's right on target. It's about 15 minutes a game from bowling by myself. And you talk about a circus, oh my goodness. There were kids on one side there for a while, just going crazy, just rushing up beside you and throwing that little track down there and knocking it over in my lane, and and it's a good thing, we've got a whole herd of grandchildren. Okay, so we're a little bit, I don't want to call it immune to it, but at least I'm somewhat tolerant of children, and so I've lost track how many there are, but there's a bunch, and over 15. I don't know, 19, 15, something like that. I have to really sit down and think about it. And then there's another crew of people show up over the side, and they were a bunch of clowns. They were out there, practicing their NFL centering techniques. They're hiking the ball, rolling it down there backwards, and there's this one girl that could stand up there and twirl around, get dizzy, turn around, try to straighten up and throw the ball. And surprisingly enough, she was actually pretty good to be just they're flinging it down through. They're throwing about a 8-pound house ball, but she could fire it. And she's kind of a big old gal, and she had some real mustard on it. She could get it down the lane. And dizzy, she must play better drunk, because you should spin around 10 or 15 times, turn around and just chunk it. I never seen anything quite like that before. And then there was this gal next to me, and she had bought the Black Widow, which is the ball that I want, and she was trying to learn how to, throw it. And obviously she didn't get it. She was, bowling 80, 100, 90, like that. And the ball would really has a lot of movement to it, and she had a lot of flair, and she just wasn't adapted to using it. Well, my long story short, or still long, is I bowled 16 games. I averaged 180, so I'm creeping up on it. I think I had high game of 224 in several little games in the low 200s. I had one that was in the 140s. And I was trying to use the inside. I've been stuck on the outside for a long time as my game. Coming up the first era, number 5, or into maybe 10 or 12. But last night I'd moved to the left, and I was coming across 15, 17, back down the lane, going out, I don't know, to probably around 7 or 8 maybe, and then letting it come back in. And I was having a little hard time at first, and then I began to, I don't know if the lane adjusted to me or I adjusted to the lane, but I began to get it. And in between dodging the people on either side of me, it worked all right. And what I found is that it's okay that there's craziness going on both sides, because it really makes me concentrate more. And the more distraction that's out there, and if I can concentrate through that, I can concentrate through a league game or whatever going on. And yesterday I was listening to The Art of Bowling. Is a funny guy from New York City, New Jersey, wherever. They get offended if you talk New York City if they're from Brooklyn or somewhere. But anyway, and his thing is that one shot, it's one frame, one game, and don't think about anything else. And on the 224 game, I didn't even know I bowled 224. Anyway, like I was saying, I didn't even realize I'd bowled 224 until after I looked at the recap, and there it was. And so it was a valuable tool there, not to be looking at the score so much. It's just to concentrate on that next shot. Concentrate on that frame in that game. And don't look back or don't look forward. Just stay in the moment. And let's face it, folks, that's about the way life is. If we're looking back all the time, we're sure not going forward. And if we're looking forward so much that we don't pay attention to what's going on now. So God speaks to us, just even in a simple little game like bowling. Just pay attention to now, today, what's going on. So that's me preaching to me. And I want to thank my family for putting up with me for all these years and for some of my obsessive, crazy ways. And to my dear wife, who has not much for bowling. She can't take all that noise in there. And I'm going to have to buy her some really good ear pods or something. That way she can go and listen to some music and drink a beer while I indulge myself. Anyway, I'm going to continue on this quest to being an above average 200 bowler. I'm going to bowl that 300 game, and I'm going to get that 800 series. Even at 70 years old, you can still have some goals. And if I've only been doing this nine and a half months and have come up to this, there's hope for me. So thank you, Lord, for all the good things you've given me. Thank you.